Good morning from Maple Lane Farm Service in Mount Forest, Ontario. I'm Leon, and today I'm excited to show you a new product. This Fendt 620 showed up for a week's time here that we get to see it, and I want to show you what all the buzz is about. So this tractor comes in 4 models. There's a 614, 616, 618, and 620. So one of the things that makes me the most excited about the Fendt 600 tractors is the new 5-liter 4-cylinder AGCO power engine under the hood. So the 614 has 149 engine horsepower, and the 620 has 209 engine horsepower. However, with dynamic performance, each of the models in the 600 range has an available 15 horsepower boost. So the way dynamic performance works is that it simply supplies additional horsepower when it's needed. So when you have auxiliary horsepower requirements like engine fan, air conditioning, alternator, those kind of needs on a traditional tractor, that will lower your available horsepower for your work. With dynamic power, it'll simply increase the horsepower up to 15 horsepower, and you can keep going without noticing a difference in performance. Dynamic performance. So the 620 top model, this one right here, will actually have 224 max engine horsepower. A super perky little chap. So also new with the AGCO power engine is the Fendt ID, which is a low engine speed concept. So you now have rated horsepower happening at around 1900 RPM, and max torque is available from 1200 to 1600 RPM. So at a very low RPM threshold, which means you will save fuel. So the rated PTO horsepower on this tractor is 130 on the 614 up to 182 on the 620. So that's actually more than we're seeing on the Fendt 720 Gen 6. That one has a rated PTO horsepower of 165. We did do a dyno test on this tractor, and we are actually seeing almost 200 PTO horsepower out of this engine. So another notable new feature with the Fendt 600 series is the VarioDrive transmission. So the VarioDrive transmission simply supplies power to both front and rear axles independently of each other. So it'll supply the power to whichever axle has the need. So one of the advantages is when you are pushing and you need full traction, think bunk silo, you will notice a difference when this thing starts pushing. You have full traction available all of the time. Also, there is no more high-low range in this transmission and no more four-wheel drive switch. At approximately, I think it's around 30 kilometers per hour, the front axle turns off and all power is distributed only to the rear axle. Another advantage with VarioDrive is that you have what they call a pull-and-turn effect. We are seeing an advanced increase in turning radius with VarioDrive. So for comparison, we measured here in our yard a Fendt 700 Gen 6 turning radius, as well as a Fendt 500, and the Fendt 600 outperformed them both. The Fendt 600 had an almost 2-foot shorter turning diameter than the Fendt 500, which is remarkable. I believe what we had measured was around 15 foot 8 inches on the inside of the turn using the 710 and 600 tire configuration. Remarkable. Okay, so coming to the side, we have the fuel tank, which is 347 liter, and right beside it the DEF tank, which is 36 liters. This tractor does not have EGR, so that means that emissions is looked after solely through SCR using DEF technologies, as well as a diesel oxidization catalyst. No more EGR, which means no harmful exhaust recirculating back through the engine. Let's talk about ride quality. So standard with Fendt tractors in this size range comes air cab suspension. This one actually has the optional 3-point air cab suspension system, which replaces the rubber bushings at the front with a central airbag, simply taking out the jarring effect when your front axle drops into a rut or something. So 3-point air cab suspension is the smoothest ride you'll get. Pair that as well with the suspended front axle, and you're in for a soft ride. So another neat perk with the Fendt 600 is the increased ground clearance. So we measured the difference again between 700 Gen 6 and this 620, and we are seeing a 2-inch height increase here at the bottom of the step. So if you compare this tractor to the Fendt 700 Gen 6, which is pretty much identical in size, the Fendt 620 has a 3-inch shorter wheelbase. So this wheelbase is 107 inches. The Fendt 720 Gen 6 would be 110 inches. Okay, so let's talk about axles. This one is equipped with the long bar axles, which allows you to put duals on. More commonly, perhaps, in this size of tractor would be a short bar axle, so you don't scrape against your bunk wall if you're using it for loader use. Also available is a flange axle, less popular, but will have no bar coming out, which does not allow axle duals in the future. We have different weights available as well for the rear axle. This here is a 600 kilogram wheel weight. And then you'll notice these air lines coming out of the center of the axle. That's because this tractor is equipped with the optional VarioGrip package. VarioGrip allows you to increase and decrease your tire pressure from the cab. So you enter a field to plant, you lower your tire pressures, you gain more footprint, you gain more traction, you lower your compaction, so you increase your yields, you save fuel because you have better traction, and now you head back out on the road. You can inflate your tires again to minimize tire wear and again decrease fuel consumption. So VarioGrip is there as an option to save you money. So this tractor is equipped with a full LED light package, so there'll be plenty of lumens to light up your world. All work lights are LED, as well as driving lights for the road. Along with the LED lighting package, this one has the upgraded loader light kit, which will ride up and down with your loader boom. Also something cool with the 600s is a new tail light, reminiscent of the Fendt 700 Gen 7. Pretty cool. Okay, let's talk hydraulics. So this tractor is equipped with the maximum amount of remotes, 5 remotes, and we also have 2 different hydraulic pump sizes. So you can get the standard pump, 40 gallons per minute, 165 liters per minute, or the larger pump, 54 gallons per minute, which is 205 liters per minute for the higher use applications. Here in the Fendt 600, all remote valves at the back are now dedicated to your rear remotes. So having a front loader no longer affects which of these remotes you can use. We have as well the Power Beyond connection points available, as well as case drain. We have hydraulic trailer brakes. We have air trailer brakes, all available. Isobus, of course, as well. For the 3-point hitch linkage, this tractor here has the quick hitch option. Perhaps more common here in our area would be the hook ends that allow you to grab your implement in much the same style, but remove the bulkiness of this and you have better access to your hydraulic remote valves. The Fendt 600 comes standard with a 4-speed PTO, 1000 economy, 540, and 540 economy. So with Fendt, when you select your tire configuration from the factory, they will match the fender to fit your overall width. So here we have 710 tires, and you'll see that these wide fender extensions match the outside width to keep mud and debris down where it's supposed to be. You'll see the buttons on the back fender here as well. So we have 3-point hitch up and down, PTO start and stop, and then hydraulic valve extend and retract. And you can select from the cab which of your 5 remotes this will activate. Also a note on your PTO start stop, in the case that you are using it on stationary PTO work like a TMR mixer or a blower deck or something, you can set in the cab the setting for the engine RPM to increase to your PTO speed every time that your PTO is started from the rear fender. So you start your TMR mixer, your tractor revs up to 1,000 RPM, you finish mixing, you turn it off, your tractor lowers the RPM to save you fuel without you ever entering the cab. Coming to the side here, we have the hydraulic reservoir, and for anyone accustomed with Fendt, you will know that the hydraulic tank on Fendt tractors is kept separate from the transmission oil to avoid contaminating the CVT transmission. Also on the side here, you have your battery as well as a little toolbox for things like 3-point hitch balls or PTO stubs or what have you. This tractor meets the latest emission standards and yet does so in a very tidy fashion to give you optimal visibility from the cab. Let's talk loaders. So the Fendt 600 launch brought out a new generation of Fendt cargo loader as well. We now have the 5.85 and the 5.90. This new loader has its own dedicated valve for starters, so no more remote sharing with the first and second rear remotes. Further, there are also larger valves, so your lift and lower valve is now at 140 liters per minute instead of the previous 100 liter per minute. That'll mean a faster loader. This tractor here has the Profi cargo loader. Whenever you see Profi on the loader, you will know it has some extra options. The Profi loader brings on scales built into the loader itself to allow you to weigh feed going into a TMR, weigh bales that you're loading on a wagon, and so on. The Cargo Profi loader also gives you a couple more added features like a bucket shake option. It gives you loader height and tilt limits. It gives you memory positions as well if you have a certain position you want to return to frequently. You see third and fourth function options. This tractor will have live third, meaning you can activate your grapple or your silage defacer, whatever you might have, without interrupting your tilt on your bucket. So you have 3 valves for the loader. This tractor also has the optional hydraulic bucket lock, which has been updated with the new style cargo loader. So you'll see here, front hitch, front PTO, 2 front remote valves. With Fendt, the front hitch is integrated into the frame, allowing for a very compact design. So you'll notice there's no interference at all with the loader, and should you ever add a front hitch implement, it is going to be mounted very close to your front axle, which results in better weight distribution. Typical to Fendt, we have an easy access staircase going up into the cab here. The cab will be familiar to all Fendt owners. Things look pretty familiar if you are accustomed to the Fendt layout. This is the Fendt 1 platform, exactly the same as the Fendt 300, the Fendt 500, the Fendt 700 Gen 7, the Fendt 900, the Fendt 1000. They're all the same. So the good news is, if you're used to Fendt 1, you're used to the Fendt 600. One of the things that stands out to me the most, though, that's different in this Fendt 600 is the visibility. So they changed the pitch of the nose slope, and I can now see down further, closer to the front of the tractor than what I'm used to with the Fendt 700 Gen 6. Also, we've excellent visibility down between the hood and the loader posts. Also new for the Fendt 600 is the automatic park brake located here on the side console. So you can simply set it and forget it. Every time you leave the seat, it will apply. Every time you try to start driving, it'll automatically disengage. Right now, this Fendt 620 is equipped with the titanium leather seat. This is the tip apex seat available for the Fendt 600, and it has massage function for your back. It has electric adjustment for various directions. It has memory positions available for different drivers. So just for fun, we did some side-by-side comparisons with a Fendt 720 Gen 6 here in our premises. And it was interesting to note that the Fendt 620 outperformed in pretty much all categories. It was faster on takeoff. It had more PTO horsepower as we could measure on the dyno. All that, and fuel consumption was not affected. No decrease, even though there was an increase of power.